Bezrat Hashem, we're back at the limud of Halachot Shabbat Siman Reish Mem Dalet. We're holding by Sif Katan Yud Bet. Zohar, take off the mute. Put yourself on mute. Put yourself on mute so we don't hear you. Okay, thank you very much. All right, so Bezrat Hashem, today is the 23rd of the Chodesh Av. You got it? You inside there so far?
Which Sif?
We are Yud Bet, Sif Katan Yud Bet. We're in Sif Aleph still. Reish Mem Dalet, Sif Aleph, Sif Katan Yud Bet. Okay, so yesterday we discussed, so we said yesterday, first of all we made a correction, you were in here, just quickly to recap, that the first part of the Siman is talking about small items, right? Items that are not tangible. Movable items, and that is allowance for a goy to do in his house, not in your house, privately, okay? However, now we shifted the gears and the left at the bottom of the end of the Siman is talking about now public property, your property in public, either it's in the city or outside of the city. Real estate. Now, so we ended off over here. So Sif Katan Yud Aleph was talking about that when a person even lives by himself in the property, even if he lives in some hick town where there's no Jews, will be still prohibited to hire a contractor to do a job for him on Shabbat because of chshad of neighbor, of the guests, and his children. Okay? So now we continue. No, so let's not go that far. Let's not get carried away for a second. ואם הייתה המלאכה חוץ לתחום, right? ההלכה says, וגם אין עיר אחרת בתוך תחומו של מקום שעושים בו מלאכה מותר. So if it's, let's say, island or a forest, where, let's say, the property that you own is outside in that forest, and within that forest, not the city that you reside, that has to be next to the city. If that forest and your house is not within the 4,000 feet of the nearest other city, it could be any city, that will be, if it's outside of the 4,000 feet barrier, then you could hire a goy to perform for you malacha as kablanut, not as a daily worker, okay? So on that says Mishnah Berurah, and you say,
but if two cities, let's say the 4,000 amount from the city is here, and then you have the 4,000 amount of the city here, and then there is a common area where they touch, let's say, like the 4,000. So now are you extending all 8,000 feet, 8,000 amount?
It doesn't matter. Either way, the question is where your house is, where your property is. Which either way, it cannot be within 4,000 feet of the nearest city. That's all. That's all we're saying.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, this is like two big cities now, and
but where's your property? Who cares about the city?
My property is on city A.
Oh, so once you're in the city, you're not allowed to do that.
Okay, for that city, but what is it if they are touching now and now do?
What's the difference?
The property that you're working on is on city B,
right?
But it's not on your 4,000 amount.
So that's what he's saying. As long as it's within the city compounds, we don't care who lives
Which
there.
City?
Any city compound.
Any city.
Any city.
Okay.
If it's a goyish city, mamash 100% certified, no Jews in town. Right? Still not allowed because it's within the city's bounds.
What's the definition of a city?
What a city we have.
One person lives there?
No, a city, a town, I guess.
Because I think it means even if one person lives there, it's a city.
I don't know where you got that from. It has to be a city, whatever is called a city. In Israel, it's 10,000 residents called a city.
I'm curious.
In the Wild West, it's 50 homes is a city.
It goes by the local.
Yeah, whatever the local. How else will you define it?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, right now in San Francisco.
Is a different definition of a city.
In San Francisco, you have a whole town run by hooligans.
There's no place in America in the world that doesn't have a name anymore.
No, I'm just saying, here you have it.
Every place in the world is under a city.
Here you have it.
Fine, in America, so you're saying there's nowhere.
There is a city here. There is a city here that's not controlled by no government. Here in America, we have such a state.
But still,
part of a state that
it's considered a city.
Hooligans. I don't know if it's a name. There's no police department there. There is no judges. They destroyed everything. They burned everybody. Burned everybody out. You know this, right?
Is there anywhere in Florida that this would qualify?
Yeah, of course. Between here and Naples, you have so much empty space. That's not called a city.
But it still has a name.
It could be it has a name, but it's not a town. It's nothing. It's just a forest.
No, but then
So that's what we're talking about here. If it's just a forest, a national park, national park is not a city.
Rabbi, what about farmland? There's a lot of farmland.
Yes, that's not a city.
But
Farmland is not a city.
yeah, but if you have enough people and you have no farms around,
It's fine.
No.
It's not a city. Farmland is not city.
No, but
it
they
has
have
to be
they
people
have their
living.
town, they have their thing. They have,
Yeah, they have whatever they have. It's because,
do.
of course, I
So
understand.
If the farm is 2,000 amot out of that area, then it's not considered part of the
No,
city.
but there are some places that they have like farm next to another farm, next to another
Okay.
farm,
Yeah.
and then they have their
Right,
Walmart
but
and their
as
thing.
long as it's
Gentlemen, this is the bottom line. The bottom line is there has to be city of residence. If there is no residency, it's not called city. Now, Rabbi Yaakov was asking just the difference in Afkamina is between one neighbor or
How many people?
how many
Yeah.
people. That's all. So whatever that is, that's what it is and finish. But what are you going to do? So he says, Vegam and...
But, Rabbi, if you go some places, even upstate, like Monroe, some houses are have 2 acres of land. You know, they just
Right.
can't. They don't allow to build any more than that. So you can have a huge neighborhood with only 50 houses.
So
you
that's,
know?
again, but you said it right. It's called a neighborhood. It's still a city. That neighborhood is city compounds. That's called a city, whatever it is. If it spans 100 miles. Jackson, New Jersey spans 100 miles. So that's a city. We're talking about outside of the city where there is no city. Where there is no residents that,
in the Gemara, for the halachot of Eruv, it says, or the sorry, the
2,000
halachot of Chum,
amot. Rabbi, 2,000 amot is about
more
1
than
mil, right?
68 amot,
4,000 feet. What?
with more than 68 amot between the two houses, then it's already separates it's like a new tchum.
Okay.
So I think if the houses are more than 68 amot apart, they can't be considered within the same city.
All right. I don't know why it's that important right now, gentlemen. I don't know why it's important right now. Let's just learn
fine.
that.
No, because let's say you're building a development in somewhere in Texas.
Good. If there's people, neighbors around there, then you'll be
But let's say
assured.
the closest neighbor is 100 amot away, 200 amot
Again,
away.
he could see you in Istanbul, right?
Yeah, but
100
it
amot is not
doesn't
so
mean
far.
it doesn't mean halachically it's in the same city.
I don't know. I don't know what
Well,
you're saying.
that's-
I don't know. I'm not gonna agree, and for sure I'm not gonna agree, and I'm not gonna disagree, but I
The
don't
next
know.
house is 2,000 amot away.
The point over here is chashash. That's what we're choshesh, right? The whole isur over here is chashash.
No, but
If you fall within the category of chashash, there's a problem.
We don't know what's shop.
4,000 feet, usually people don't see what's going on.
Okay, so
4,000
if
feet.
your house's development is 4,000 feet from the next house, you're fine.
Lechoira, yeah. Lechoira.
Yeah, I think that's the key what you're saying.
No, it's not. It has to be outside the tchum of the city.
Yeah.
It has to be outside of the city.
I know, but if
The boundary of the city has to be outside of it, 4,000 or more. No, I don't. I disagree with that notion that if you have houses,
If there's
the
no
five,
houses-
5 acres apart from each other, that's more than 4,000 feet. That's not called not city.
I
That's
think
not
so.
allowed.
I think so. I don't know.
I would not. I would disagree with that.
No.
That I would disagree with
I'll
because
look into it. I'll look
because
into
it's
it.
still it's a city. Just so the ordinance is here.
Doesn't matter
You're right.
The name of a city.
No ordinances in Thames River in New Jersey. I think to put up a synagogue, I need 10 acres.
Fine.
Right? You can't put up a synagogue built unless you own a land of 10 acres. You know how much is 10 acres? How many feet apart that is?
Right, but I don't know if halachically that matters if they're under the same government that it's considered the same city.
Again, so that's the shaila. The shaila is the same government. The state does not dictate that. A country, a government is a country. We established that
ordinance,
yesterday.
whatever that is.
Yesterday we established the governments are a country, and the cities are cities. And that's what we talk about here. Specifically cities. Asuro, the beginning says betoch
I'll look
hatchum.
into it.
So he says betoch hatchum of a city. The whole concept is a city where people are residing. You want to say 100 amot away from each other? It's not a city anymore. I don't know. Let's see. Let's just finish. Let's go into Mishnah Berurah. י"ב וגם אין עיר אחרת והוא הדין כשדר שם איזה יהודי בתוך התחום של מלאכה גם כן אסור. So he says that if a Jew resides within the 4,000 feet of where the job is being performed, that will be asur. That means if you have a forest, and your nearest neighbor, who happens to be a Jew, is within the radius of 4,000 feet, it will be prohibited for you to hire a goy